Yo, what's poppin'? All my peeps. It is I, your host of the most Renaissance man who always thinks he can, and your champion of the peeps, Patty Pitts, back once again in the yard of streams for another edition of the Smackdown Breakdown, presented to you by Pitts and Sara's Wrestling Show, where we take no nights off. And obviously, it's not just me, Patty P, here in the yard of streams. I am joined by the best of the West you can't forget about, Sara Marshall. What's popping, girl?
Hey, yo.
Hello.
What's popping? How we doing on this fine ass Saturday?
I'm fine. I feel like I've had a lot to do and I haven't accomplished any of it. So I'm trying to not really focus on that, you know?
Why haven't you done it?
Cause it's my day off.
Oh, so you don't have to do it then.
No, it's like I needed to clean and stuff. That's what I mean.
Oh,
like
that type of shit.
Yeah, I just decided to not do it.
I've been doing laundry for 3 days. Okay, Sara. It's we get it over here in the cave. I totally get it. And then you got the Celtics on too.
Yeah, you'll have to keep me updated because I can't watch. It's not on here.
That's impossible.
It's not on here.
Okay, that's crazy to me.
Do you know what's crazy is
live sports?
What?
Live sports.
Yeah, but they don't just show Boston everywhere. So.
Oh, you just don't have the channel. Okay.
Well, I guess, but they're not. Yeah, it's not being shown nationally, is what I'm saying.
That's what. Yeah, that's what you mean. Yeah.
They didn't show them nationally a lot last year, which I thought was insane.
Do they have a lot of national broadcasts
this year? Probably. You know? I don't know. As long as they're playing on TNT or like ABC, that's when I'll see them. Or if it's like no other game is on at the same time or something, like then I'll see them. But most of the time it's like, yeah, no, I don't get to watch that many. That's how it is with the Patriots too. Like even when Tom Brady was still around,
that's tough.
I would maybe see like, I don't know, whatever their primetime games were. Those were the only guarantees that I had. So, yeah, it's rough out here, man. It's rough in these streets.
It's I couldn't imagine that West Coast time. It boggles my mind. My buddy Will, my brother do it. My brother Matt does. Like it's insane to me because I became so obsessed with time, partly due to my full-time job of slinging the fish. You know, time is very important. So I became essentially obsessed with it. So
I'm sorry,
I am not reading the. No, I saw the face and I'm like, I haven't seen the comment section yet.
Nathaniel, stop saying crazy things, you goof.
That's nonsense.
Get out of here.
We got Nathaniel here, as you already heard, and you got Mr. Anderson, and Jay was popping to y'all. So I feel like at some point we need to do a competition between us for the like trivia or Jeopardy or something, because today or every Saturday I come home and then we'll watch the Wrestling Jeopardy. It's now Wrestle Trivia on YouTube. And excuse me, this week he did like a Halloween theme for Wrestling Jeopardy. I fucking was on the ball until it came to Final Jeopardy, and it was the biggest middle finger to me.
What was Final Jeopardy?
Ever seen. Final Jeopardy question was that. Okay, Final Jeopardy question was, what do the lyrics before the Brood's theme song say backwards? Because you know at the beginning of it, it goes like the weird breathing, like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was like, all right.
Also, Jeopardy questions are not asked in a question.
Yeah, they're
They're
answered in the question.
they're answer. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So what is it?
The
What was the answer?
It was Paul is dead.
Paul. Who's Paul?
It McCartney. It was an ode to, you know how it was an ode to the Beatles, because you know how used they use like cryptic shit like that in their like
But Paul's alive.
experimental days. No, but no, thank you. The conspiracy theory is that in one Beatles song, if you play it backwards, it says Paul is dead, because of the conspiracy theory that the Abbey Road, Paul is barefoot because Paul is dead.
And there's just
Conspiracy theories are crazy, and if you want to go down that road, you very well can. But we're not going to right now.
I
We're
learn
gonna
like every year a new person that people think is alive and after dying.
Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne is a clone. A lot of right wingers believe JFK Jr. is still alive and faked his death. Michael Jackson.
Imagine faking your own death.
I mean, the thing is like,
that's bananas.
Well, yeah, and the way that they died, it was in a plane crash. Like, I don't know, very odd, but you know, I mean, we all know about Elvis and stuff like that. So, well, you know what, Nathaniel? Apparently, she's a clone. Okay, that's the current rumor. Okay,
dude, we all love Avril Lavigne here. We're very pop punk on this channel. All right, that is definitely going to be played.
That is right, Mr. Anderson. He is alive.
Damn right, he's alive.
You know what, Nathaniel? So are the Celtics. Okay, the Celtics are 2-0, and they've won both games by 20, and they're playing right now.
16-10 with 7.
Okay, so I'm not going to jinx it yet because I'm not watching it. But anyway, okay, let's move on to SmackDown, which starts off with the new thing that the Triple H era loves to do, and that is watching wrestlers from the back walk to the front, which I'm here for it because it just feels a little bit more real. You know, wrestling is real to me, damn it.
Real to me, damn it.
So Randy Orton is not pleased. He is walking in the back. He goes up to Triple H and is like, "Hey, brother, I need to talk to you because this is getting bananas, and I am mad. I'm becoming bald 09 Randy Orton mad." Okay, so he goes out there and talks about how he doesn't understand why it's so difficult for him to get this match against Kevin Owens at Crown Jewel. So he calls out Triple H to be like, "All right, we need to figure this out because I was told to go to the higher ups, and that is you, and you are denying my request for some odd reason." Triple H then comes out and is like, "You know what? We could have just talked about this in the back. Like, why are you making this public?" Okay. Randy's like, "This is how we do things." Okay. And they go back and forth with Randy believing that Triple H is trying to shield Kevin Owens from the violence that Randy would inflict upon him. But Triple H actually flips the script and is like, "No, bro, I'm protecting you from the craziness that is Kevin Owens." And I'm like, okay, so we know that Kevin is going to be a heel, but are we going to go down where he's like unhinged?
I need it. I fucking need it. I need it so bad. I want it.
I think that's the best way to go about this because what made him turn into the heel version of himself, it feels like it was something that has been building up and building up and building up, and this is his way of like, it's exploding now. You know, like he's showing it with violence and whatever. So to me, it would make sense for him to kind of be like unruly and out of line and like unpredictable. I think that's a good way to go about it.
Well, we need to see the anti-establishment Kevin Owens. We haven't really seen that in his WWE run. I mean, we've obviously seen, you know, anti-bloodline and anti-authority, like in that regard, but not anti-establishment like we saw when he was Kevin Steen in Ring of Honor. You know, like that's some of his best work of his career in terms of where it got him to. You know, it was such an incredible launching pad, and why not do it now on the biggest stage? Like you have the opportunity to do whatever you want on the biggest stage. We saw the blueprint initially with Drew McIntyre. That whole, I don't even want to call it like anti-hero run that he went on before the trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
before the trilogy
Mm-hmm.
that he had with CM Punk. I'm telling you, like Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, like that is going to be, it's going to be an unbelievable match. I also believe that it is going to be the genesis of an absolute unhinged Kevin Owens that we've not seen before in WWE.
Well, and I think that they are proving all the time that they're willing to be a little bit more like I don't want to say controversial, but I would say like in it with recent WWE history, they weren't really trying to cross a line or like go too far or like be too much of a bad guy, you know. And I've
Mm-hmm.
said that where I felt like specifically with Triple H that it felt like he was kind of taming the heels, and so that was making it really hard for people to hate them, because I'm like, they're not doing enough for people to hate them.
They
And
weren't right.
that's not the way that you go about creating a heel nowadays, especially. Like, you need to go above and beyond the way that you would historically create a bad guy, because like fans are smarter now, you know, and so you have to do more. And I think that the way that they've gone about it with some other people, like even Dominic Mysterio or Drew McIntyre, they can build upon that with how they're going to be developing whatever Kevin Owens is going to be becoming with this character. And so there's like nothing's off limits, you know. And I feel like if he was going to be this version of a bad guy, it's this is the time to do it. And who better of a first opponent than Randy Orton? But you're also intermingling with the Bloodline, which has, you know, the biggest stars of SmackDown and some in the company, while also having Cody Rhodes involved. Like, there's so many possibilities for him, and it should be easy for them to get him easily hated because of who he can get into the mix with, you know?
Oh my God, he could make so many fans cry with what he could do to them.
Yeah.
And that brings me to a thought I had. How many apron power bombs do you think we see KO give to Orton that it would knock him out for like 5, that we could potentially not see him until Survivor Series again, or even the Royal Rumble?
I kind of wouldn't be surprised if they have their next match at Survivor Series. I mean, because I don't see this being a one and done, obviously, but also to cater to my belief that Cody will be on Team Bloodline. I need Cody to be taken out of a potential world or, you know, WWE title match. And the easiest way to do that is to have Randy and Kevin doing something else. So that's why I think it could happen. But I think that not that it necessarily is going to have meaning every time it's said, but it felt like there was a reason Triple H brought up Randy being sidelined for 18 months and being like, there are rods in your back, because you know,
every details matter, and
Kevin's going to take advantage of that. They're going to exploit that, and they're going to instill fear in the fans. You know, that's again, an easy way for Kevin to be hated, by looking like he does not care about this man's injury history. He does not care if he injures him again. He's going to, as I said, exploit his back, his neck. He's going to do whatever he can to make it look as bad as possible. And people love Randy so much that they're going to be like, F this guy. What is he doing? You know, to me,
I'm going to love every fucking second of it.
It could be really good.
I need it, Sarah. I need an unhinged Kevin Owens in WWE just to make childhood Pitts such a happy kid.
I think we're going to get it, though, because they're keeping him off TV. So to me, they're building for some big payoff, you know, because they easily could have him on every week and jawing with Randy or getting into backstage brawls or whatever,
exactly,
arguments
but
with
it
Cody or
doesn't
whatever.
do it justice.
Yeah, but he's already taken to social media, taking a page out of Drew McIntyre's book, if I do say so.
I mentioned the blueprint.
And I think that the payoff is going to be like he might not come back till Crown Jewel, which I get is not until next weekend, but like I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him again next week. And what happens at Crown Jewel will be really interesting to see how they progress this. Because we haven't seen Kevin and because Randy Orton, I don't even remember how many is it at 10 pay-per-views in a row or something. He's not won. So
Kevin Owens?
No, Randy.
Randy hasn't won at 10 straight?
Kevin
Owens hasn't either, really.
Yeah, so I think it's like, it's Randy's at 9 or 10 that the last 9 or 10 PLEs that he's been on, he's lost. So I think
Talk
that's
about
going to
the
be
tail
interesting.
end of your career when you're just putting over.
Yeah,
everybody.
Well, and that's the thing
is
like
everybody over.
I do think that if we're gonna do predictions, I already scheduled that for next week on my birthday. But I do think Kevin should win, but at least the first one.
You should blow out the amount of candles that there are matches so that all your wishes come true in the matches.
So 6. I'm 6.
Not 5.
I know there's 6 this time.
Not 5. I'm very intrigued. I'll talk more about it on the Super Show Predictions edition. But 6 instead of 5. Everyone's like, well, it's just one more. No, that is a big. It's because it also
it's not a
one
4.
more.
It's not a big 4, so I think that makes it significant.
Yeah. Foreshadowing potentially. Hopefully.
Jackson says that Randy has lost in every PLE except for when he returned at Survivor Series last year. So every single one.
He hit 2 RKOs.
Yeah.
And then just clapped for CM Punk returning.
The thing is the 5th member of the Bloodline. I also said that this could be Kevin.
Yeah, that's why you go down to the video archives, our library, and you find the video. It's there. Sara cuts them.
Yeah.
And then you subscribe because you want to subscribe to the ones.
I think that that would be the easiest way to go about it, but I don't know. Also, it's like if they wanted to do just 4-on-4 instead of 5-on-5, they wouldn't
have the same feeling.
I'm just saying in general, if they didn't want to do 5, because everybody is so caught up in Sami Zayn, which I get it, but I also I don't think it's as impactful as Cody being on Team Bloodline, but
for different, yes.
I think that it could be Kevin Owens. I would love that, especially if what happens, like what you said, is if he takes Randy out for a while, then it would make sense for him to be on Team Bloodline simply because then he would get to go against Cody. He would get to go against Roman, Jay, Sammy, whatever, because he can have beef with Sammy. I think that the deciding factor is going to be if Sammy decides to be on Team Bloodline before Kevin decides to be on Team Bloodline 2.0. If we find out that Cody and Sammy, or even if it's just Sammy, are on Team Bloodline, then Kevin might sign up to be on Bloodline 2.0.
Kevin will lose his mind.
Yes, that's why I think we will have to wait.
Sami Zayn goes back to the Bloodline. He will. You want to see Unhinged? We might actually see a name change with Kevin Steen if that takes place.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense, and it's like a bunch of storylines that just, I don't know. To me, that sounds good, and I'm glad that no one so far is arguing with me about it, but I'm just waiting. He can be. Hold on. Jay is, of course, disagreeing with me. Cody does have a meaning on being the OG Bloodline. Yes, he does. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have to be on the Bloodline. He doesn't have to be in the Bloodline. It would be another way to piss off Kevin. It would be another way to piss. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, did you not watch the last pay-per-view? Did you not see the interaction?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That went down at the Georgia Tech football field.
Yes,
it's
he
all.
does. Yes, he does.
All The proof is in the pudding.
I'm not saying it's
Proof
what's
is
going to
in
happen.
the
It's my guess, and I'm saying
pudding.
I think that it would be impactful because I would assume that if they're going to have Survivor Series, they're gonna want Cody to be probably on a team and not in just a title
Yeah,
defense.
entitlement. No, and you have to
So
realize too, Cody's who who created War Games? Cody's father.
yeah,
He's
so that's
gonna
why I
want
think
to be part of it as long as he can be.
it's possible it could
Except
be The Rock also. It is definitely possible. We've talked about that as
think
well. It
you
just
think
depends. It just depends on what he's doing and if that's when he finally reveals himself as the person that created the Bloodline 2.0.
you think DJ is getting in
I know.
that Terradome? No way.
He could be there, but maybe not in the match,
There it
We'll
is.
have to see.
That's the compromise I will settle on.
All right, moving on to we saw
Yeah.
game
Can
7 of
just
Andrade and Carmelo Hayes with LA Knight as the special guest referee. And what was interesting is, you know, it's always interesting when someone is made a special guest referee in a match like this when they have beef with both people. Like we saw that not too long ago with Seth Rollins being the special guest referee in the match with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. So they're doing that again. I think LA Knight might have more beef with these guys than Seth did with those guys, but
yeah.
what they did with LA Knight was really interesting though. He declared himself the winner of the match. So that didn't help with who he was going to face for the title. And Nick Aldis punishes him for this heelish move and puts him in a triple threat for the US title at Crown Jewel. You're welcome, because we talked about that. I
That's
don't know.
why
There's a
I
video up
wanted
about it.
I want everyone to acknowledge me because I said this last week.
I
I
said it like a
said he's
month
gonna.
ago, but yeah, we
No, I
we
said the finish. I'm saying he's gonna. It's gonna
oh
be like a double. They're both gonna be out, and
mm-hmm.
he's gonna. And then walk away, and then inevitably will be a triple threat.
Yeah.
However, I didn't think it would be that good where he just hits both finishers and declared himself the winner. That
Yeah.
was good. You won up
I
for me.
I love this though because um the Intercontinental title is not going to be defended. The WWE and World Heavyweight titles are not going to be defended, and it is not they're not real feuds anyway, because it was like we're just going to have the champions go against each other, whatever. So
Yeah.
this is going to be like almost a main event simply because there is bad blood between these three guys, and that's why
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. That's kind of I don't know. I think that LA Knight deserves to have that spot, and I think this
He
is a
does.
much more interesting way for him to go about defending the title, even though I know for some people it's controversial and they don't like it when a champion has to defend their title in a triple threat. But I think that fits with not only what's been going on between Andrade and Melo for the past however many months, but also as a power move from Nick Aldis for what LA Knight pulled in this 7th match. I feel like all of it makes sense. So you can't really complain about him being punished essentially for not behaving himself.
Do we not see this coming already? You know what I mean? It's one of like
Yeah.
we figured LA Knight was not going to let this match end cleanly by
Yeah.
any means.
Yeah. And I think that I don't know. I think that LA Knight deserves to have a big match on a big stage like Crown Jewel. And I
As
think that
champion.
Andrade and Melo also have done more than enough to deserve a spotlight match at a big pay-per-view, big PLE, whatever, like
Yeah.
Crown Jewel. So I'm excited for them because I think this could potentially be the match of the night. I'm calling it now. I really think it could be. I mean, it's gonna have tough
It's up
competition,
there.
but
It's gonna have very tough competition with the main event. but it definitely is in the category of sleeper match of the night.
If we're talking about like, okay, because I think that Cody and Gunther could get good, especially if there's outside influence or whatever. I think that from a like match, like actual wrestling match perspective, this could be the one that like steals the show. But we'll see. Regardless, it should be good no matter what, which is exciting because there might be only 6 matches, but they should be good.
It's more than 5, Sara.
LA Knight is retaining. I don't think that it's changing. But we'll have to see. Maybe my opinion changes when we do this next week. I don't know. But as of right now,
something to note that they gave him a custom strap to his title, so that usually is an indicator of something.
Well, and it's kind of like a tricky situation, I would say, because obviously Andrade and Melo have been fighting over being the number 1 contender for quite a while now. So it's like, okay, if they lose, then what happens now? But I feel like they might have somewhat of an argument to be like, okay, I deserve a one-on-one match with LA Knight. Like we fought this many matches and I won this, whatever. Like I deserve to have a one-on-one match, not just being put in a triple threat because that was what Nick Aldis wanted to do to punish LA Knight. I shouldn't be punished for something I had nothing to do with, So I think they could go about it that way. But I don't think it changes hands. I think it's too early.
Way too early.
Yeah. Speaking of Cody and Gunther, I'm sorry. This segment had me so excited. Okay, I love to see a Cody Rhodes entrance. Love to hear the woes. But when Gunther's music hit before that second woe,
it was incredible. It was so funny.
I
laughed out loud. It was so funny.
I was gonna say I want to see more of this, but I kind of don't because I don't want to become overdone.
Yeah, cherish it.
Yeah, I love this. It's such a classic heel thing to do. Just like mess with the fans, okay? Mess with the person because Cody was like, "What the hell?"
Stunned. You stunned.
I also love that Gunther comes in, immediately grabs the mic and says, like, "So what do you want to talk about?" Like mocking Cody.
So, Cody, what do you want to talk about?
And Gunther went off. Okay. Again, I'm gonna say this all the time, so you're gonna get sick of it, but it is what it is. Gunther's great on the mic. And this was a really good back and forth. I love that he came for Cody's neck for even, talking about how like, oh, the Crown Jewel Championship has nothing to do with your daughter. Yes. Can we go back to when you were trashing Chad Gable and his crying little baby girl? Yes. Thank you. I was here for this. I was like, okay, she's very cute. All right, Cody, I'd love to hear it. You want to make your little girl proud, but we don't need to be talking about your children, okay? This belt has nothing to do with her. I also love that they went a little bit deeper because we were saying that, this was a match that Triple H was like, all right, champion versus champion for the men and the women. So these feuds they're not real. But I like that they're adding more to it over the past couple weeks to make it a little bit more interesting for people who might not care about these matches at all. And making it a little bit more personal, but also it's interesting because Cody's the face of the company, and I've talked about how clearly WWE still prefers to highlight the undisputed championship over the world heavyweight title, and I don't personally love that because I feel like you're basically admitting that you don't view them the same. But Cody kind of leaned into that a little bit because he's like, I was busy yesterday, like doing press for Mania 41, like meeting with the fans and going on talk shows, and like you don't even want to do that. And Gunther's like, you're right, I don't. I get asked to do it, but I don't want to. So we're kind of seeing like, yeah, exactly what he was saying, like the guy that panders to the crowd and loves to hear them cheer and sing his song versus the guy that's like, I'm literally here to wrestle and win championships. Like that, this is my job, this is what I want to do. So I think it's an interesting dynamic between them.
It is a very interesting dynamic, especially one where you can build an incredible heel out of it. You can create you can build up an incredible villain from this. And it is essentially just a nothing match at the end of the day. And this is why this proves that Gunther is a top guy and backing you up, supporting you here. Like, you're right. Gunther is fantastic on the mic. If you think otherwise, you got to go back to the footage because the man eviscerates people on the mic. I'm not going to go as far as say that he eviscerated Cody Rhodes on the mic last night. However, he established himself as the alpha in this match.
You will learn one
Cody
thing.
Rhodes is
that one
quote
thing
unquote
it will never change.
the underdog
when the ring general
in this fight
steps into a ring, he will come out victorious.
That is right.
And that Gunther is going to beat the absolute piss out of Cody Rhodes.
I feel like we might have gotten there was a little bit of an inkling that I felt during this match or this segment that I felt like it might be Gunther. Gunther might walk up the winner of Crown Jewel because, I mean, they're talking about what these things mean to them, right? And there is quite a difference between what winning this match would mean to them. We have Cody focusing on it, being like, I'm a dad. I want to show my daughter, like, you can accomplish your dreams, and like, I'm doing all of this because I want to win, and I want to make her proud, and blah blah blah. And like, yeah, that's great, but then you're talking about Gunther, who's like, I want to do this because like I'm the best wrestler in the world, like I deserve championships and I deserve to be recognized for that. So it's like interesting to see what direction they're gonna go in. Don't be surprised if Kevin Owens gets involved.
That's where my mind goes.
I know.
I think my dude KO about to
we're
do an apron power bomb to Cody Rhodes.
We're gonna have to see some sort of development, but with that next week on SmackDown, or at least during Crown Jewel, for it to make sense, because as of right now, we haven't seen any interactions between them basically since he attacked Cody after Bad Blood. So there's going to need to be something else where he's going to want to interfere. But it's going to be interesting. And I think I was excited about this match the second that they announced it, simply because it's two of my favorites. But I think it's becoming more interesting and more exciting to look forward to now. Like, even if you don't care about either one of these guys or whatever, I'm like, it's easy to get invested in now.
Hey, don't you dare, Sarah. Don't you dare forget about Goldberg.
No, stop it.
Don't forget about Goldberg. All right?
Stop it right now.
His son has a bye week.
No.
Might make the trip. No. Definitely an NIL deal in the works. I'm just trying to connect some dots here. You keep throwing dots at me, and I'm just gonna take some lines and connect those things.
Yeah, just no. Just no. Oh yeah, that's right too. I forgot that they did a double taping on SmackDown. So
yeah, did I see spoilers?
I have not.
Maybe.
Have you?
Maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, I haven't seen anything.
I'm not saying shit because I'm pissed that I saw it and I don't want anyone to feel.
Yeah, no, don't ruin it for me. All right, moving on to another match that they added to the Crown Jewel card. That was finding out that Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill will defend their women's tag team titles at the PLE next week in a fatal 4-way tag team match. So it'll be against Damage Control, Chelsea and Piper.
Damage Control, Chelsea and Piper, Metaphors, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, and obviously your champions, Bianca Belair.
So I guess this could, I don't know. I kind of want to get your take on this because we've talked about wanting them to invest more time and effort into building up the women's tag division. And that's why we said, okay, obviously they're going to take the titles off of the Unholy Union and give them back to Bianca and Jade, because they're going to have them on TV every week, twice a week, if they can, 3 times a week, if possible, you know, with NXT. So it seems obvious that if they want to advertise and put out there, you know, the women's tag division is getting better, blah blah blah, they're going to put them on there, put them on them. But do we love that this is another time that they're doing a like triple threat or a fatal 4-way for the titles? Because they just did it. Didn't they do it at Crown Jewel earlier this year when they had like a triple threat, or that was at Bad Blood?
Yeah, it's inevitable. Yeah,
and they did it at Crown Jewel too. But
yeah, they do. I don't see it. I have a little birdie in my gut, Sarah. A little birdie in my gut telling me that we could see Chelsea Green and Piper Niven leave Crown Jewel with the tag titles. And I've been seeing a lot of Chelsea Green on my social media. The Chelsea Chronicles are awesome. Her traveling through Brooklyn and the shit she was doing on the train, she had a towel and was wiping the seat and then just being like, making sure it's, and then to hold the pole, she was wiping it, making sure.
Do you blame her though? Like,
I mean, I don't blame her, but it's just so perfect. Like everything she does, she's right down to the last finite detail. You need someone like that to elevate a championship, especially a championship that has been dragged for so long. This championship has such a versatility that I would say a majority of the others don't. You just said it. You're going to have it across 3 brands. Chelsea Green is your most entertaining face. I mean, literal face that you have on your roster. Why not have her go on all 3 brands? It's incredible. Just throw the titles on her.
Yeah, I think it's hard because I think the least likely to win is Damage Control.
That's not happening.
Yeah. I don't see that happening. I think if they lose it, I wouldn't be surprised if it's to Meta 4. They're really trying to build them up. And then they could defend it in NXT as well, you know, so because they're on NXT, they're not technically, we haven't seen them sign a contract with Smackdown. Yeah. So to me, I feel like it would be them is the most likely to take the titles off, but I hope this is a good match because it is the only other women's match on the card. So I'm hoping that it'll be good and that they'll continue to like move forward and progress with what they're trying to do with the women's tag division, because it is getting better. And so I hope that they keep going with that instead of it like coming to a complete halt again, like they've done it in the past. I'm trying to see what people are saying in here. I don't know what happened to Blair Davenport. I honestly don't know. I'm not surprised that she's not on TV though, because Triple H doesn't seem to like be super in love with her for whatever reason. Yes, we do need a mid-card. What? We do need a mid-card title for Chelsea. And Michin's not been on TV, but Chelsea is one, and the other one. Like, if we're talking about mid-card on SmackDown, it's Chelsea or Michin.
The Celtics are absolutely raining threes. They're up 20. It is the second quarter.
Oh my God. But it's so unfair. They need to do something about it. They should not be allowed to throw so many threes.
Horford, at his age, should not be hitting the amount of threes.
Did you see the stat that I tweeted, though? It was like 43 point something% of their threes are wide open with at least 6 feet of space.
Yeah,
so people complaining. So people complaining about them shooting so many threes. Hello, they're not being covered Why aren't they going to shoot a 3 if no one is within 6 feet of them? That doesn't make any sense. Like, you yell at the air, bro. Shake your fist.
Yell at the air is a new one.
Yeah, yell at the air.
I'm gonna start using that as an insult. Yell at the air.
Yeah, just yell at the air. So Motor City Machine Guns do double duty on Smackdown because they were against DIY to determine the number 1 contenders for the tag team titles on Smackdown, and were going to face the Bloodline at a later date. But instead, the Bloodline 2.0 come out and they're like, how would you do it tonight? And Nick Aldis is like, no, I am not going to allow this to happen to my good friends from Impact. And they were like, no, we're doing it now, buddy. And I was here for it, okay? Because I was like, hey, boys. Hey, MCMG, what's up? And they did the craziest thing, okay, with some help from the Bloodline, the OG Bloodline. We had Roman Reigns come out. We had a super sneaky Jimmy Uso and a super sneaky Jey Uso come in, and Motor City Machine Guns won the tag team championships on SmackDown in their 3rd match in WWE. How are you feeling?
I'm going to go with the initial thought I had here before I get into my manifest love note about how and Motor City Machine Guns. Triple H is now taking something from the Attitude Era that is going to become his signature. Like, this is going to be a signature thing in this new era. And I'm going to call them attitude endings.
Okay.
Where it's a moment like this championship match, big names like Bloodline, Motor City Machine Guns, different stories, all that. And then you have them, they're not supposed to fight, but they are, impromptu match. Good match, too.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the Uso come out, Jimmy to start. And then Roman comes out. All right. And then Jay, like, you see him get interference, and it's all just, it's building. The crowd is, you're waiting for that moment when then Motor City Machine Guns hit the finish. I don't know what their double finisher signature move is called. I forget. Someone in the comments, if someone in the comment section could tell me, that'd be awesome. But they hit that, and then the crowd erupts.
Mm-hmm.
You get the Motor City Machine Guns winning the tag titles in their 3rd match. Which brings me to a question I have for you, Sarah, actually.
Okay.
So I've been seeing a lot of this discourse going around about how they made the decision to put the titles on the Motor City Machine Guns after only 3 matches.
Mm-hmm.
Do you care?
No.
Does this irk you? Good.
No.
I'm glad. I'm good. I'm glad we're on the same page.
So it is very Vince-esque, I would say that. So if that's what people are complaining about, I get it. It's like, but like, I don't hate it because I really feel like the Bloodline never should have won the tag titles to begin with. I hated it from the start. I hated that they took them off DIY. I hated it. I want them to get back to the tag team divisions being legitimate tag teams. And I'm not saying like, obviously they switched it from Jacob and Tama being the tag champions to Tonga and Tama and Tonga being the tag champs. And obviously they've been a tag team in the past. So it's not saying that they're not legitimate. But when we're talking about what's been going on in WWE, and with the Bloodline 2.0, they haven't really been doing like tag team-y stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't want it to just keep being like, oh yeah, let's just put it on them. It's like, no, there was a reason why Motor City Machine Guns were brought in and put on SmackDown. And it was to revitalize the tag team division. So what better decision than to put the tag titles on them, and then you put them in matches with DIY, with the Street Profits, with A-Town Down Under, with Pretty Deadly, with whoever. And then people are going to be immediately bought in because it's Motor City Machine Guns against somebody else. And you know that basically during the Triple H era tag teams matches, even if they are not consistent throughout the past 2 years, they've been incredible almost every single time. So to me, I get the complaints of feeling it's too early, but it's kind of like what Nick Aldis said, is like, these guys have been in the game for 20 plus years. They didn't need to come in and fight their way to the top. They did, or technically they did, because they were in the tourney, so they became the number one contenders.
To earn it. They just
right. So it's like, technically they earned their spot there, right? Because everybody started at 0. But the way that they were, the way that they have gone about presenting them since debuting was that, like, they literally came in because they're seasoned veterans, and one of their dreams was to always be in WWE and to become tag team champions. So why not just do it now instead of prolonging it? Like, I just don't, I don't think that should be a complaint. And no one should be complaining when the alternative is the Bloodline 2.0 having a tag team titles and never doing anything with it. Like, are you really complaining? Really?
I'm not. Corey Graves said it. They're they are your favorite tag team's favorite tag team.
I also think
need a reason to be champions. They're going to elevate this division to new heights.
Yeah. I also think that this is further proof for anybody who was crying about Jey Uso winning the Intercontinental Championship. Right here, bro. This is exactly why he lost it. Right there. What happened on SmackDown. That's why we needed further development.
Okay?
I'm fine.
So you're no. I was gonna say, are you okay with sacrificing a Jey Uso Intercontinental reign for the beginning of a Motor City Machine Guns tag team title reign? I know your answer but that's kind of what they're saying.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is he had to lose the Intercontinental title because we knew what the end game was to get back with the Bloodline. And so I get why you'd be upset if Jey is one of your favorites or whatever. You don't want to see him lose a championship. I get it. But as we said when we talked about this on Tuesday, he was the champion for 4 weeks. Drew McIntyre won the world heavyweight title for 5 minutes and 46 seconds for a storyline. Jey Uso had the title for 4 weeks before losing the title for a storyline. You really can't, like, we knew that this was what's going to happen. He knew that this was going to happen. And how happy are you that now Jimmy and Jey are back together and now they're going to be cool with Roman and we're going to finally see the Bloodline versus the Bloodline 2.0. Like, that's the A story, not what is Jey Uso going to do as Intercontinental Champion. You know, like, he became a singles champion. That's what you guys wanted to see. You got to see it for 4 weeks. There you go. This is really what you knew was going to happen. So you really can't complain in my eyes. And I feel like it all made sense. The way that they went about this was great. I think that they built this the right way. So I knew that Jey would not be happy with it. I'm not being biased, by the way. I'm not being biased. Jey needed to lose the title if he wanted to go back on SmackDown because we don't need another part-time champion. Stop. Final Boss was excited about the reunion between the Usos.
Me too. I shed a tear.
See, this is the thing, though. You can complain, but then why are you telling me that I have to be excited about Jey Uso and that I think that he should still be Intercontinental Champion? Why? If you feel this way about Drew, that's fine. I like Drew. I think that he should have been champion longer. It's just weird. Like, can you feel your way, but I can't feel my way? That's the thing that I don't really understand. Also, this is absolutely insane. Please do not be one of those people, Kervin. Stop it right now. Stop it right now.
His profile pic is the Heat. Of course he says.
I know, but stop it right now. I'm sorry that your team sucks. I'm sorry.
Himmy. Is he really Himmy? That's the question I want to know.
Yeah, like, let's stop. Let's stop. That's the thing that's like that one video that was going around of this guy being like, Jason Tatum is so corny. I'm like, you root for the Heat, bro. Jimmy Butler is corny. What do you mean? What do you mean? Dude showed up to picture day dressed like an emo guy. Stop. He's
maybe he thought he was in Judgment Day, Sarah.
Whatever.
Maybe.
Anyway, because there wasn't a ton of stuff to talk about on SmackDown this week,
It really wasn't.
I wanted to throw this up there because I thought this was interesting. While Cody was doing his press tour for WrestleMania 41 this past week, he talked about how everybody, the people, the fans who think that they're in or that they have figured it out about what the main event is going to be in Las Vegas, they're not necessarily correct. He believes that it is going to be totally unexpected. And this had me thinking, I still believe that we're getting Rock Roman at 41.
Yeah, we are.
But you know what I think Cody might be doing? Cody versus Randy Orton.
Oh, no. That wasn't where I was going.
Okay,
that's no. I'm not disagreeing with you. That's not where I was going. No,
the reason I think he would consider that I think he would consider that unexpected because I'm sure he's not really seeing it. Like, he probably looks on Twitter and sees what people are saying. Obviously, he responds to fans and retweets fans and stuff. I think he knows that a lot of people think that he's going to be involved in some sort of bloodline storyline. They already hinted at it at the Raw after Mania that him and Rock might have something. It's possible we get a night 1 and a night 2 Cody match, similar to what we saw this year. And maybe he does face the Rock or something, or I don't know. But I do think that we're getting Rock Roman. I don't see the point in prolonging that. And I think something unexpected, but Randy picked up that championship on SmackDown and he was looking at it a little bit too long to make it seem like he doesn't have his eye on the prize. I would not be surprised if we get heel Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. And I would be here for it. Okay. That would be a great build too. Great storytelling.
No, it would be. It would be good. I'm not disagreeing with that. That is unexpected. However, I have a feeling the unexpected is Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Undisputed Championship against John Cena.
See, but that would definitely be more unexpected.
That's Rock Hogan, Cena Rock.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Do you really think so?
That's the trajectory that is 100%.
That would be that would be interesting to see how WWE would go about promoting that, because those are two like huge over baby faces that like. I obviously Cena would probably would be booed more. I'm not saying that,
yeah.
but
I know what you mean. But
those are two like beloved fixtures of wrestling. So it'd be really interesting to see how they would go about that. Because like with the Rock and Cena build up, they were both good guys, but like
no, they didn't like each other.
Yes, so that made you pick sides, and I don't think we're gonna see that with Cody Cena.
Oh, I think we're picking sides.
No, what I'm saying is I don't think they don't dislike each other. So it's not going to be the same heat that was coming at each other.
I get that. They could do a competition thing, like competitive nature, which would be sick.
That would be insanity. And something I don't know that I'd want to see, honestly. I don't know that I want to see nearly like 48-year-old Cena versus like 52-year-old Rock. I don't know that I want to see that.
I don't need to see Cena Rock. I don't need to see Cena Rock for a third
time. I'm
that
fine.
Doesn't need a trilogy.
I'm fine with Cena getting the last win over Rock.
They had their moment at the greatest WrestleMania of all time when he rock bottom Cena.
You were just hating on the Celtics and saying that they only won because they had played against injured teams, bro. What do you mean, me hating? Stop it right now.
Did the Heat win that finals?
No, they got clobbered by the Nuggets. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't know.
That's just what I thought. I'm just curious.
Jay wants Randy versus Cena. I think that's a good one.
I want it. I don't think it could happen at Mania.
I think it
doesn't need to happen at Mania.
It doesn't have to, but I could see it happening. More so if Randy wants it or if the storyline makes sense just based off of what Randy has said and what Cena has said. It would have to make sense at the time. I still think that Randy has Mania written all over it.
I mean, where is it? No, where is it? There it is. There it is. There.
Oh my god. I I would die because the fact that Rock is able to. This is the thing, okay? Pat sits here with his fake US title. And people in the comments on our stream, or even sometimes like during the stream, will shit on him for wearing it, right?
Shit all over.
But the Rock is a 6'5", 270-pound grown 50-something-year-old man walking around with a fake championship belt, and y'all don't say anything. You know?
I earned it.
I mean,
I earned this.
Well, you bought it, you know?
With the money I earned. There you go.
See, I think Cody versus Randy has too much history for that to only be at the Royal Rumble.
That's a good argument.
I think that they have way too much history. That story deserves much longer than 2 months, not even, of build. I'm probably gonna buy a championship at Mania. Well, during our Mania trip, because we might not go to Mania.
I have to buy a new one. But I gotta find a place to put that. And then I have 3, and they can't just sit on a lounger.
I think I want to get the women's world title because I think it's prettier.
It's really that's a pretty title. Like, you look, that's a pretty title.
Yeah, I think it's like because it's not just the title itself, like the gold. I mean, that's very intricate and detailed. It's also the strap, and so I think that makes it cooler. Because it's different than the other one, and I don't know. I really like it. I think it's pretty.
The big gold is one I've always wanted. I just love the design of the big gold.
I didn't love it at first when they brought out the women's world title. Like, I didn't love the design, but it's grown on me. And then, like, looking at it up close and at all the detail, I've grown to like it a lot more. So I feel like that would be more fun. And I think it's a little bit more. Even though it is a redesign and obviously the women haven't had it before, it kind of is still nostalgic in a way to like my childhood because it reminds you of course, the big gold, the men's world heavyweight title. So I kind of like that because I don't know that I love just the women's title. I don't particularly love it. So, Cody Rock at Rumble, I don't hate that.
I don't hate that's a Rumble. That is Rumble all over.
I think Cody Randy is too big to not have at Mania. So I think that it deserves a long build up. And then if that's the case, that means that if it happened at Mania, I mean, that means whoever wins the Royal Rumble would challenge Gunther. Which I think makes sense because it could be Punk. Oh, fuck.
There we go.
Look
in my eyes. What do you see?
But the thing is I don't want him to win.
CM Punk on your TV.
He would want to like seek his revenge. He probably eliminates Drew.
I know you're anger.
But do you think that if that happens, do you think he would beat Gunther? He would.
No.
At Mania, his dream is. I guess he wants to win a title at Mania.
What's a main event at WrestleMania?
Well, that could be the main event, unless they're going to do another Bloodline 2-nighter.
I don't think they'll do. I don't think that.
I don't think so. I think you can't do that again. That's why I'm saying.
No, that was special. That was so special.
Cody Randy.
But the women got a main event at least. I know,
but we don't know what that could be right now. So the only thing
that is the issue.
We could say
I couldn't predict that.
Liv and Rhea could potentially go to Mania, and I don't know if that's a story that people are going to be.
No, they don't want it. Liv doesn't want it. I don't think Rhea wants it, and the peeps don't want it either. I am not there yet, but
I think that's possible. But it also is we gotta consider how much time Punk thinks he has left, because if he really does want to main event a Mania, if he wants to win a championship at Mania, pushing it to 42, we would have to see if he thinks he could go for another year. I think he could main event I think Punk versus Seth could main event and it not involve a title. I think it could. And I think that I would like to believe, and based off of things that he said, I think Triple H would be down to do that because he's like, whatever is the top story, like that's what's going to be the main event. We saw that with the Bloodline tag team match on night 1. That didn't involve a title. But I think Punk Seth, because it's like a year and a half, it would have been a year and a half in the making at that point. And you could even say beyond that from the beef that they had.
There it is.
That very easily could be the main event of night 1. But again, I think it depends. Like, does Punk want to win a title at Mania? Is that like his goal? I don't know that we wait another year for that to happen.
I don't either.
I
don't know.
I don't want him. I don't want him to take the title. I don't like that. He can be in a title match, but not take it off of Gunther.
No, we don't need that. No, we don't need that at all.
No.
And that's all I got. That's all we got. That was Smackdown, Sarah. That was Smackdown. Thank you all for tuning in to this edition of the Smackdown Breakdown, presented to you by No Nights Off. I'm going to go watch Bound for Glory and potentially Limitless if I can work a double screen thing. Because I'm tired of playing video games. I did go back and play the Bad Gal. We're just not streaming it. We'll try again with 2K25. But I'm going to finish it out because the story is fucking sick. It really is good. You had a problem with Ivy Nile. So you put her through a table. When I got back from managing my baseball and football teams that I own in the Nonsense Galaxy, I come back and you are just on this rampage, killing off Beth Phoenix. You're putting her on the shelf.
All right.
Then you just put Ivy Nile on the shelf. So now I let you be because you got to go patch things up with Psycho Sally.
Oh, geez.
Apparently they're having you go down that road.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in NXT right now with her, and it's just like, can you figure it out? Like, can we get back to just being the bad gal and not like the brutal bad gal? All right, just be nice. That's just all I'm hoping for. Because there's other people that I want to feud with you. I think you would do well with a lot of other women in that division. On this, we're just stuck being like they have the way they have you dressed. Because I don't get to choose the attire at this point. Like you have your own attire that I obviously choose. But then based on what storyline you're in or whatnot, like they'll change your attire. They change your entrance. Like I have a set entrance for you, but they change it because you're brutal. And they literally have you dressed up as. Do you remember Kitty?
Yes.
China's this little. Yeah, they have you dressed up like that because obviously it's like China-esque, but blonde and the spike. It's. But you kick ass. You know, you're not just a sex symbol. You're actually kicking ass because, God damn, poor Ivy Nile. Really, it's tough. Well, let's go and instead of play wrestling, let's go watch wrestling because that's what we do best here on No Nights Off. Bound for Glory is on right now, and Limitless, if you're more into the indie scene, is over on IWTV. Go check those out. And
also,
then. Oh,
I just wanted to say we'll be doing the Super Show on Wednesday, which will include our Crown Jewel predictions. And then we won't be doing a SmackDown breakdown next week because Crown Jewel will be there. But depending on how it goes, we might be able to stream because it's going to be an earlier pay-per-view since it's in Saudi. So we might be able to go live that night. We'll just see how we're feeling. I might feel lazy. Pat might be Mr. Popular.
We might do Sunday
I don't
or
know,
whatever.
but yeah.
Oh yeah, Mr. Popular. I have actually not been Mr. Popular in the past 2 weeks.
You shouldn't be because we got Mania to save for, brother.
I know, but that's what happens when you're the champ of the peeps, Sarah. The peeps need you out in the greatest city on earth that is Boston, Massachusetts. So I gotta go out there and be with my peeps. But it was great to be with my peeps here in the Yard of Streams. And we'll be back on Tuesday for the Raw Rewind. Who is Dominic Mysterio facing? What world champion is it? I need to know now. And we're going to be talking about that on Tuesday. In the meantime, go watch that wrestling and hit that subscribe button, bell notification, and follow us on all the social media links down below. Thank you for tuning in. God bless. Remember that you can do it. All you got to do is try. Okay? We'll see you on Tuesday. Go try. You go try.